Hey. How you be? How's it going out there, wherever you are? Oh, I have made a few recordings and I have not posted them because the next day after making the post, well, on one hand, I feel like I didn't really hit what I wanted to say, and then on another hand, my thoughts have upgraded already, and I don't even feel comfortable sharing the thing that I had shared before, which is wild, actually. I I guess I would say that is an indication that there's like a rapid amount of evolution occurring right now, expansion, learning, understanding. Maybe it's not even learning. You know what learning may actually be? What if learning is just disrobing? It's not the right word. It's just learning is revealing or unveiling something that's already pre-existing. So it's like letting go of as many false truths or falsities that we're holding on to. Like, for example, we're born as children so perfect, right? That's what people love to say. And then we start to accrue this form of karmic residue, and then it's about like undoing that during your lifetime. I mean, whatever, but something like that. Like, learning is not actually taking in more information, it's deprogramming as many beliefs as possible to get back to the root and back to the internal truth. It's an interesting thought experiment. I just keep making lists of things that I want to talk about. And then just before I started, I did a little dowsing, and this is the order. I don't usually do this, and this is totally impromptu. Like, all I have are a couple points I want to talk about, or at least that I'm being guided to talk about. So let's do this thing. So the first thing is a little tiny realization that I had was something like your level of intuition or psychic ability is directly connected to your level, I guess I would say your level of interaction with your high self. So another word, I guess you could say, okay, the way I see it is the high self is the part of you that's outside of this game, whether you believe it's a game or not, just for the fun of it. And intuition is actually an internal navigation technology, which is what I call it on my site, and that it's a language. It's a agreed upon language between you and this high self, you being this avatar of this other high self, the high self having the bird's eye view. And so your I mean, it's so clear to me. I mean, I'm sure that sounds so basic to you, but maybe not. So in the off chance that it doesn't, like, I just see it so clearly. Your level of intuition is completely dependent on your level of connection to your high self. So that's that. And when you use the pendulum in the way that I teach it in HBOA, what you're doing is it's training wheels for the intuition. Eventually you don't need it. Like, I don't really need the database anymore. I very rarely go to it. But yeah, it's like just up leveling and growing that connection to the high self, which could also be called the inner self, quite frankly. It's for as high as it is high, it's also in. That reminds me of something that I had forgotten to, let me just write this down, as above. So, you know how they say that everything here is inverted. It's like an inversion, a world of inversions. People say one thing, it means another. They show one thing, just do the opposite, right? It's like this world of inversions. And I thought, if it's as above, so below, I would say that it's like a mirror world. It's said in these computer simulation theories, not that I buy into the computer simulation theory as it is shared by most, but that it's mirroring, like we are mirroring that reality. This is like a false version of this original reality. And I just had this vision when I was talking about it with a friend where it's actually this mirrored version, which would explain, like it's a mirrored reflection of another reality. And I was like, oh, well, that's why everything's inverted. I mean, look at the mirror. The mirror is like the backwards version of you, right? So I think that that's kind of, because it is mirroring. So it makes sense that it would be inverted. And actually, that's the way it's supposed to be. I gotta say, I think we're fucking masters. I think we're masters, dude. I don't think that this game is for the faint of heart. This is not a game for the faint of heart. This is not a game for the gullible. This is not a game for the lazy. And I guess you can be all those things and play the game in a passive way. Although, God, what a waste! What a waste of a spirit! What a waste of an experience, a pivotal, incredible moment. Unless it is an ancestor simulation, then you could just reboot and start over, I guess. No, I don't think it'll ever be exactly like it is right now. This is a very fun, unique experience. Okay, stop going down holes. Stay on course. Whew. Okay, my dogs went mental, so I had to pause for a hot one. So what I was saying is, that's a good way to lead into this idea of do not be a pendulum. Do not be swayed by the pendulum. I'm seeing everybody, I see everybody so up in arms right now about what's happening in the world. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of that because whether you listen to this in 10 years from now, there's going to be some version of it then too. I mean, oh, sorry, I didn't have my face up to the microphone thing. There's always going to be something. There's always going to fucking be something. So it's like, it's applicable all the time. But now that I'm removed, and I'm removed from people, and I'm removed from civilization, and I kind of do my own thing, and I very, very barely dip my toe in the culture, I just see it so clearly now. And I'm not, there's way more for me to see. Don't take this as some sort of like pious, like I'm the fucking end all be all. No. I'm just saying, like, when you step outside of it and you look back on it, you can see it. And I see people posting on the internet all about, I can't believe the thing is happening, and oh my God, and the poor people of, and it's just like, dude, you got taken by the pendulum. You got, what's it called? Like, you got hijacked. It's, okay. We get hijacked. I'm not going to trigger you. I know if I say you're going to get all fucking fussy and you're going to stomp your feet like a little baby. Don't do that. Just stay with me. I do it too. Don't get me wrong. I fall prey to the pendulum after listening to Reality Transurfing Chapter 2, man. I feel like I'm going to post it with this. It's real important. Every human needs to listen to Chapter 2 of Reality Transurfing. If you listen to nothing else, listen to that. Because we're constantly being pulled. Doesn't matter what side they want to pull us to. It doesn't matter. If you take the bait, you get you jump on the pendulum and you're like swinging and you're going back and forth, and the energy that you generate, whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter, is all being siphoned. And it's not even about you. It's not even you. It's not your life. And it's like, and then this beautiful, I mean, I see it clear as day now, dude. How did I not see this before? Service to others, service to others, service to others. We have to serve. We have to serve. Why aren't you serving? Who are you serving? I mean, that was me. That was me. I was that fucking service police person. I'll never forget this conversation with my sister where I was like, well, you know, I was really young, like 17, 18, 19, something like that. I'm like, well, how are you serving the world? She's like, I'm raising children. That's what I'm doing. And I was like, you know, like internal eye roll. Until now I go, oh my God, that was everything. And her children are the coolest humans, adult humans walking the face of this planet. I'm telling you, her son, Jack, if you ever listen to this, you are the coolest motherfucker on the planet. I think Jack is the coolest. I really mean that literally. Okay, going down a hole, pulling myself back. Yeah, so getting pulled. And it's like, and so, oh yeah. So it's easy to say, like, but how can you be so heartless? Someone has to care for these people. Someone has to, if no one cares, then, you know, and it's like, okay. But like, you are being completely swayed, or we are being completely swayed without actually being present to it, knowing the ins and outs. No, haven't you ever had a situation where you look back and you go, man, I thought I knew what was going on there, but I did not know. Well, I can pretty much guarantee that is the case for absolutely everything, even the stuff that you are experiencing in your own life, okay? Even that, it's like, we don't really know what's going on. I mean, how many disasters and traumas have led to incredible things and places and people and experiences? It's like, we just don't know, and we allow our emotions to get stolen and siphoned for some sort of louche party. Like, I don't know what the deal is with that, but like, it's like we got to rein it in. I don't know about you, but I almost hate to put this out into the field, so I'll like cancel, delete it as soon as I say it, but I barely have the energy to fucking take care of this stuff just right in front of me, let alone jump into the news and go down all those rabbit holes. It's all stealing, energy stealing. It's all it is. And you have a finite amount of energy. Sure, I can hear it. It's like, if I can tap into source and I have unlimited energy. Okay. Well then, in the same breath, you know, hopefully you acknowledge that, you know, it's like, then we go down the whole immortality and what is time? It doesn't fucking matter. They have not figured out a cure for death. And even if they did, we have to question whether or not that's what we would want, but that's another story for another time, especially the way the world is going. Like, anyway, and it's like, that's your energy. That's your life force. And you have it to do something that only you can do. There's some genius inside of you, whether you've excavated it or not. Like, your true genius. And like, wow, I'm just fucking killing it right here. It's like right into the next thing on my list, which is the zone of genius. If you haven't read The Big Leap, I'm sure a lot of you have, because I'm a huge fan of it and I talk about it all the time to my friends, and most of you are my friends. The Big Leap is absolutely brilliant. And the main distinction, I'm not even going to get into the 4 categories, but the last 2 are the zone of excellence and the zone of genius. And between those 2 zones is a void. And most people will never take that leap. They will never take that leap because the culture has has hijacked us, like I've said. The culture has us mesmerized by this spell of, the mortgage and the private school for the children, and, like all the things that we think we have to do, or the things that we were told to do, or the things that like we went to school for, and maybe you've invested $100,000 or $200,000 in your education, and so there's no turning back on it. Those are all fucking traps, every one of them. And if you're lucky, you end up in the zone of excellence, right? Zone of excellence is like you're good at it, you make money at it, you're comfortable at it, you're on cruise control, but it's not exercising your genius. My neighbor is an artist, but he's also a carpenter, and it's like he's an amazing carpenter apparently. I've witnessed him. I can't really say that with full confidence, but from what I've witnessed and the things he's helped me with, it's like wow. And he's not as happy, and it's like you get to be middle aged, and you're like, well, what am I doing? My true calling, the thing that I love the most is the art. And that's how I'm starting to feel. It's like, what am I trying to prove with Cosmic Lab and HBOA? And I'm not saying that I shouldn't do them, but they are not my zone of genius. I could do that in my sleep. Time slows down to a near halt in the slowest, most painful way possible when I'm trying to do those things. Guess what doesn't do that? Art. When I paint or I draw, I lose track of time. Time stops. And not in a bad way that's painful, in a way that makes me just want to keep doing more. I was saying to my friend today, I was like, it's crazy. Like, I'm able to be so prolific in artwork. I can create so much. I did in my 20s especially. And I think that's because I get this time loophole when I am in my genius. And so time, I can bend it to my will. And that's how I seem to be able to do so much within that zone. So what it takes from getting from the zone of excellence to the zone of genius is a lot of courage, and a lot of people like to wait to have the other thing fully baked and already making money before they dip their toe into the zone of genius, because it's the safer way to do it. But that's just not how it works with the zone of genius. It's going to take a void. The void is the payment. The void is the emptying of the vessel, so that the genius can truly come through and fill the cup of your spirit, in your body, in your being. But you have to be emptied first, and that takes faith in a way. Faith is not the right word. That takes, I guess, courage. It takes courage, but it will be the most well-spent courage you will ever expend, because the gift on the other side it's like a form of true creation. It's why you're here. All that other shit is not why you're here. You're not here to pay taxes, to go to W to the A to the R. Like that's, or, to support companies that, pollute the oceans. I mean, yeah, so that's not why you incarnated this life, the miracle that your parents were able to create you. Life is a miracle. It's a fucking miracle. And it's like, what are you doing with that? What are you doing with that? The lights just flickered. And that's an indication to me that my father is here. Since he died, he tinkers with the electricity for me to let me know that he's listening, or that he's here, or that he's present. So I just got an amen from my dad there. Amen. Not that he would ever say that. Ever. for multiple reasons. Mm. Last thing I just want to mention here is, well, wait, actually, can I talk about, should I talk about that? No, that's for another time. Okay. Last thing I want to mention is a friend of mine sent me a video from 2001. It's a guy that's kind of recapping about this TikTok account. And maybe you've seen it. If you haven't, I'll also include it in the description here. It's a guy on TikTok that claims, although I won't even say that because I want to believe it's real, so I'm just going to go with it. He says that he is in the year 2027, that he went into the hospital in 2021 and he woke up and he's in this like completely empty city in Spain, like a big city. And there's not one other human. There's not one other animal. And somehow he's able to communicate through TikTok by posting. And he's posting all these videos. Going in, people are commenting, go into the Mercedes dealership. He goes in, finds a key, takes a car. They're like, go into the police station. He walks over to the police station. You know what I mean? Like it's unlocked. There's no one there. They say, go to the zoo. He goes to the zoo. He walks around the entire zoo. The fucking grass is still cut. The fountains are still going. Things aren't overrun and, like dilapidated. Everything is as it was. And yet there's not one animal. There's not one bug. There's not one bird. Nothing. And it's been 2 years and I looked up his account and apparently it's like I saw videos of him in London. And I guess he made his way. How he got there, I don't know. Maybe he walked by himself. I don't know. And look, the best that I can come up with, well, it's one of two things. Either A to the I is way more advanced than we know, like way more, and somehow they can simulate this in that way. Or TikTok itself has a massive budget, and this is like a huge thing that they're doing where they're paying millions and millions of dollars. It would have to be every day because they're like clearing streets. It's worth watching the video when you first start it. The ominous music is going to make you roll your eyes just like I did. Just watch it. Just watch it and tell me what you think. My mom's husband was in the film ministry and he said that it was produced. And I'm like, okay. I don't see how that's possible. I really don't, for lots of reasons that I'm not going to get into here because this is not a recap on this guy. But yeah, I'm going to post that video and I'd love to know what you think. So, I'm glad I can get a few things off my to-do list, my little checklist here. And I'm sending you lots of warmth and affection wherever you may be in the time-space continuum. And I made the site live. I'm still debating whether I want to call it Cosmic Lab. I just don't know if that's the right name for it. It's not all up there. It's just a few pages because I'm just being a weird perfectionist right now, and I got to go with it. But I made it live, and I just had to do that because I was legitimately like starting to lose my mind. It was getting to that place, so I let that all go. And now I'm just refining as I have time. That's it. Big hug, big astral hug to you. Sprinkling a bunch of holographic, magical dust all over your aura right now. Haha. I'm so silly. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay, wait. Let me get the microphone back over here. I was just saving that voice note, and I had this thought. Shit. Apparently, 2027 is a really big year. Ra-Uru-Hu and Richard Rudd of the Gene Keys, Ra-Uru-Hu did Human Design. They, based on the astrological events and, just like the original download from Ra in the 80s or 70s or whenever it was, say that 2027 is the turning point. It's a huge shift. And I've heard these very foreboding, like, kind of, I don't know, statements that are made by them. It's like, you don't know. Oh yeah, like there will be a day where there like won't be Amazon, and there will be a day where it's like when the new human starts to emerge is in 2027. And to bring it back to the Sophia, Anthropos 11 is we're mutating. It's all about mutation. Very interesting. Actually, God, I'm just like opening all the cans. Just open all the can of worms right now. This is the moment that Anthropos 11, according to JLL, is that's all happening. And then I had a thought today about the Mandela effect. And look, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, it is what it is, but not everybody sees it. And I guess it's not that if you can't see it, you're not the chosen one. No, but it's like you're taking upgrades, and I don't know, what is it? There's a separation that occurs in the person that is not receiving the blanketed upgrade. The way that this guy was describing it is he was talking to his best friend. He asked him to name off all these different things about different movies and shows and blah, blah, blah. And he said that all the things, the way that, we would consider the old way, the right way, even though technically that's not the right way. And that when this guy said to his friend, actually, none of those things exist in this reality, he said he watched his face, like, take the download, like, or the upload, or whatever you want to call it, take the system upgrade, like, before his eyes, and then he just went, oh yeah, no, I got that all wrong. It's this way. You know what I mean? Like the new way, like in front of his face. Sorry, I don't mean to get like weirdo about this, and I don't even think that the way the story was being told was nearly as like sci-fi as I'm making it out to be. That wasn't my intention. And it's just like some people, they'll just immediately second guess themselves the second you tell them the new way, and they'll be like, oh no, that's the right way. And it's like, really? You're just like gonna flip over on something you knew without a doubt, like in a second? For real? Like, did you just do that? Talk about abandoning your fucking principles. Like, I mean, not that you care that much what a lyric is, but for anyone who just does not find this absolutely fascinating, I just don't even know what to say to you. It feels like everything. It feels like the way that the system is able to communicate to you that you're not crazy, that there is something going on. And I'm not calling it inorganic, but I'm not ruling out that it's some form of something that exceeds or surpasses the laws of nature, of all the laws that we're taught through science and these type of things, that literally things can instantaneously change and reshape into a new thing in a pre-existing object. This is not an internet thing. It's like I'm going to always come back to it. I mean, hopefully not always, but it's where I've arrived, and I don't want to get tripped up by it. I don't want to get obsessed by it. I think that it works in a lot of different ways. That just means that I'm able to create in the same way, so no big deal. You know what I mean? No, I mean, big deal, but like, no, it's not like I'm terrified, because the things that are changing are ridiculous and hilarious. Okay, I just went way over what I was going to do. I'm done. I'm telling you, I could talk forever, man. As long as I'm not interrupted, I just talk. Okay, I think I just snorted. That's great. Okay, bye. Okay, wait, let me just say goodbye more seriously. Goodbye. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.